South Korea's space industry took a big step this week with the success of the third Nuri space rocket launch. It's more meaningful this time as it was Nuri's first ever actual mission where it carried 8 satellites into orbit. We connect with our Lee Kyung-eun at the launching site. Hello there, Kyung-eun. Fill us in.
Hello, Dami from Naro Space Center, where I can say is the main gate to space. This is where Nuri blasted off into space at 6:24 p.m. Korea time, Thursday. And this time, unlike the first and second launches, Nuri was carrying real payloads on board 8 operational satellites on actual mission. And putting them into orbit was what would determine the success of this launch. The primary goal was putting the main satellite, the next generation small satellite 2, into its target orbit where it can always make use of solar energy to operate in generating Earth's images. And as of 7:50 p.m., it has been confirmed that the launch was indeed a success. Take a listen.
독자 개발한
South Korea's domestically developed spacecraft Nuri has successfully completed its third launch with the support of the public. The next generation small satellite 2 and 6 CUBE satellites have been confirmed to be successfully separated. But one among the 4 Snipe CUBE satellites needs a bit more time to be confirmed.
The officials added that the CUBE satellite may have actually separated successfully, but just may not have been captured possibly by being in a blind spot. It is unclear when the officials will be able to find out the results, but they've made clear that they can declare a success regardless of the separation status of the CUBE satellite, because the ultimate goal of this launch was the successful transportation of the next set too. And the main satellite is also confirmed to be successfully communicating with the ground.
It is indeed a milestone achievement for the nation's space development. But I hear there were hiccups along the way, which were not much of a big deal though, right?
That's right. It was not all easy because this launch came after 24 hours of delay, as Wednesday's initial launch was called off just 3 hours to go. It was due to a technical glitch found in the software that controls the helium valve, as it was unable to receive signals from the control tower. The valve is key to releasing pressure generated while helium is injected into Nuri, which cools the liquefied oxidizer. The problem was not with the valve itself, but with the controlling system due to a communication glitch between 2 computers, one in charge of the launching process in the control center, and the other located underneath the launching pad. But this was all sorted as of 5 a.m. and Nuri was given the okay. Take a listen.
The Ministry of Science and ICT has decided to go ahead with the launching procedures with the aim of a 6:24 p.m. liftoff time after assessing everything that needs to be taken into consideration.
A lot of factors have been considered before making this decision.
Factors affecting the next attempt date are now long the satellites can be sustained onboard Nuri. We also have to keep injecting air to protect them, which cannot go on for days. There's also the weather and possible collisions with space objects, among the other things that have to be taken into consideration.
This second attempt was made in a rather swift manner compared to the second launch, which was delayed twice because it was a software issue, not hardware. So Nuri did not have to be transported back to the assembly center, as the problem was fixed while Nuri remained in position.
Now, Kyung-eun, you were there in Gohung this entire week up until the blast off on Thursday. Tell us, what was it like to witness the moment there?
That's right, Tommy. I was roughly 3 kilometers away from the launching site, and I was able to witness the blast off. There were enormous thunder-like noises, and I could also feel some tremors too. That really shows an awful lot of energy needed to propel Nuri weighing 200 tons. Right behind me up on the hill are the control centers, where officials and researchers might have been watching the flight anxiously, but with much excitement too, of course.
That is amazing, Kyung-eun. Now, before we let you go, we've had 3 Nuri launches so far, but what makes Thursday's launch more special or significant?
Well, many things, Dami. First of all, it is the very first time for Nuri to take on an actual mission. It carries 8 working satellites, not dummy satellites or a verification satellite in the second launches. And each of them has its own mission, with the main satellite, the next generation small satellite 2, tasked with generating images of Earth. We could say that they are Nuri's first passengers, with Nuri directly transporting them, making the service a lot shorter than in the second launch, when it used a verification satellite which entered its orbit, then released cube satellites.
Compared to the last launch, this time around we will be looking toward the actual success of the satellites and provide a satellite launch service for our customers.
Also, this launch marks the beginning of South Korea's privately space endeavors. The Ministry of Science and ICT and Korea Aerospace Research Institute transferred their expertise to Hanwha Aerospace, which will be in charge of 3 more Nuri launches to come until 2027.
Thank you so much, Kyung-eun, for keeping us updated all this week. Have a safe trip back to Seoul. That was our Lee Kyung-eun at the Naro Space Center in Kohoon. And following the launch on Friday, Nuri's main satellite sent signals that its mission was going, well, smoothly.
South Korea's first homegrown space rocket, the Nuri, transported 8 satellites into orbit on Thursday. The nation's science ministry confirmed on Friday morning that communication has been made successfully with the main satellite.
On the day of the launch at around 7:58 yesterday, the initial communication with the next generation satellite 2 was successfully made at the first attempt, followed by 7 additional communications at dawn today. Also, we have checked and confirmed that the functions of the satellite, including the transmission and reception system, command and data processing system, and the power generation system of the solar panel, are all operating normally.
As for the remaining satellites, the general director said that communication has been made with 2 out of 4 cube satellites developed by the Korea Astronomy and Space Science Institute and 2 of the 3 developed by Korean companies. That's 5 out of 8. The general director said that given the characteristics of the cube satellites, it could take a few days until communication is made with the remaining 3. As for the next generation satellite 2, that was considered to be the most important passenger on board Nuri, is operating as intended.
The main technology on board the next generation satellite 2 is called synthetic aperture radar, or SAR. This is a payload that allows us to observe planet Earth day and night, even if it's cloudy. So it's our top mission to verify that the technology is functioning.
Other challenges include measuring the amount of radiation near Earth and also verifying other core space technologies. We asked him what the future may hold with this technology.
What we are hoping is to use the technology in the future to conduct research on Arctic sea ice. For example, if we expect that the change in the Arctic sea ice may influence countries around it, we can use the data to warn them or to predict future climate change.
The next generation satellite 2 still has years to prove itself, but if all goes well, we may have taken a step toward in getting key information on climate change. 김정실, 아리랑뉴스.
The much-anticipated launch of the Nuri rocket took place in Kohoon, in the southern tip of South Korea. And it was bustling with visitors who took the time to visit the village and enjoy that thrilling moment. Our Shin Se-byuk was there and filed this report.
As the countdown began for Nuri, the excitement and anticipation in the Naro Space Center continued to build. This time, the atmosphere was filled with a renewed sense of enthusiasm after a delay the day before. People from different parts of the country came all the way down to the southernmost county of Kohoon to witness history.
It was delayed by a day, but seeing it in person today brings even greater excitement.
We came here yesterday, and although the delay was disappointing, I believe that setbacks often pave the way for success. It's truly an honor to witness this moment.
An engineer involved in the development of the Nuri rocket was feeling a mix of anxiety and excitement.
This is the third launch attempt for us, and it hasn't been an easy journey. We faced difficulties in the previous 2 attempts, but I've seen countless encouraging comments online from the public. Our colleagues and engineers are giving their best, even at this very moment. I remain hopeful for a successful launch.
Teams of engineers, technicians, and support staff have been meticulously preparing for this momentous event. And the moment finally comes. Families and friends, young and old, all together celebrate the groundbreaking moment.
We traveled all the way from Daejeon to witness this lift-off. It's truly amazing to experience it together with my family.
The Nuri's blastoff is a milestone in the country's growing space program. And it is also a testament to the dedication of the engineers and the enthusiasm of the people. The soaring Nuri rocket has taken people's aspirations higher, which will reach new heights with each future mission. 신새벽 아리랑뉴스 고흥.